We want to take you on a journey to the future. A world where the smartest, most creative minds from all around the globe come together to tackle the biggest challenges on Earth, to imagine the impossible and change the world. That future is now. Born in response to a challenge to reimagine transportation, rLoop is a global network, including some of the brightest minds on the planet. And through the power of crowdsourced engineering, we have created levitating pods capable of incredible speeds. It's an amazing leap forward made possible by a bold, new, globally connected way of working, by a shared desire to create a better future for mankind, and the imagination to believe that anything is possible. And we mean anything. Because if the collective imaginations of rLoop can combine to invent, design, and engineer a new future mode of transport and an entirely new way of working, just imagine what we might achieve next. Go on, we dare you. Tomorrow isn't going to wait for us. The world is changing right now, and we are driving that change. Join us. Help us make the impossible possible. And together, let's create the future we dream of.
Hey, folks out there, this is your Uncle G coming to you directly from Zombieland, downtown Hollyweird, California, right in sunny Southern California, just a rock throw away from the beach, and the unofficial official home of all rLoopers. So if you're in the area, just knock on the door. Hey, we're going to have a great show for you today. In this episode, we have a gentleman that we've been trying to nail down for a while, super busy guy. He's agreed to finally meet up with us and do this. I want everybody to welcome our very own Ilyas Vali. Let's see where he's at. Ilyas, are you out there? Hey, there you go. There you go. There go my man. How you doing there, Ilyas Vali? How you doing today, man?
I'm good. I've just been waiting for you to listen to some music.
Yeah, man, that sounds good. Who's the artist? Who are you listening to?
It's Bollywood music mixed up with a bit of Western, in this case, Ed Sheeran.
So it's a Western Bollywood. Check that out, man. I'm digging it, man. We're gonna have to put up a link. Let's hope we don't get sued for copyright. Anyway, all right. Hey, I want to thank you for coming on board today, man. I've been trying to nail you down. I know you're a super busy cat, man. And thanks a lot, man. Thanks for being on rVoice today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for being here.
Yeah. Hey, we got a lot to discuss today. These are different times. A lot of things going on worldwide, with the COVID thing. It's put everything kind of to a halt. I think the important part is that we need to know where are we going from here once this gets better. We have a few things that are on the table, and I know that you travel all over the world talking about all kind of different things. Some of the things we want to discuss today is going to be, of course, rLoop in general, and we want to touch on rBridge. We want to touch on rFlight. You guys are super busy. So many different things going on. So let's get right into it. So with everything going on, how's rLoop?
rLoop was good. It's great. We're still marching ahead and engineering now that we have a lot more time than we did before. There's a lot more going on, a lot more projects, a lot of our earlier members now finding time and pitching in, coming back. So it's nice to see some old faces.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And there's got to be a lot of challenge when we're talking about a decentralized company such as rLoop. People have regular lives and they have to go on, and do their day to day. And you really have to find the time to dedicate to rLoop in this platform. So to see new people, coming on board and to get some of those original folks back in the fold, it's got to be a good thing to see. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think rLoop just, you know the story of rLoop, right? How we started on the Reddit subreddit, SpaceX subreddit, when Elon Musk first put the announcement for a Hyperloop competition. You know, we just we just started a team on the hope of competing, and to what we've evolved to now, which is a community of engineers working completely decentralized, and what it can grow into, which is more relevant now, especially with COVID and what's coming out of COVID, coming out of this downward spiral and trying to understand it. I think it's a great opportunity to not only do engineering at scale, but also to provide work to anybody around the world that want to work. So yeah, no, it's interesting. It's exciting, and the vision is still the same. It's to create a decentralized autonomous organization, or exponential organization in this case.
Well, what started off as a Hyperloop project that morphed into what we now know as rLoop, actually branches out to a lot of different directions. It's not just rLoop. It's not just it's not just the Hyperloop program. I mean to say, we also have rFlight.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell people just a bit about rFlight and what that is?
Yeah, I mean, so you know, R is from Reddit, and that's how we were formed. So it's actually Reddit Loop, and that's what we were called. That's what we're known as.
Is that what the R is for?
Yeah, absolutely.
The R is Reddit all that time?
You never knew?
Nah, man. So now, this is Reddit voice. No, our loop sounds better than Reddit loop. You know.
Well, when you create a subreddit, it's always /r. Yeah, and then your subreddits. In this case, it was /r/SpaceX.
Right.
In our case, it's r/rLoop. So yeah, that's what we were called, Reddit Loop.
Okay.
I remember in the early days, there was a conversation with Reddit, and Reddit asked us to change the name, so we just call it rLoop.
Outstanding, yeah.
And that's how it stuck to. That's how it stuck to rLoop. But yeah, no. What initially started was a community of mixed skill set, predominantly high-skilled engineers, working in the design and then the construction of a Hyperloop, a scalable Hyperloop prototype. After winning the innovation award at the SpaceX Hyperloop competition, some of the engineers were burnt out. Some of them wanted to carry on developing the Hyperloop. Some wanted to work on other things. And at that time, GoFly, sponsored by Boeing, came out with another competition, which was to design vertical takeoff and landing vehicles. So like a motorcycle for the sky, or an air taxi, single passenger air taxi, or you know, an alternative for an Iron Man suit. Which for our community was great, because a lot of them were from aerospace. The backgrounds were that, so it worked quite well. Some of our engineers, because they were working directly in aerospace, some of our brilliant lead engineers and brilliant engineers weren't allowed to work for rFlight from the companies that they worked for, so they were actually told not to work on that specific project.
Oh, really? So, and these are people that really wanted to be part of the project initially, but their companies told them, no.
Yeah, it's like, how can we do an rFlight project if like Scotty's not on it, right?
Yeah, right.
And Scotty's not been on it.
Well, that's a challenge, isn't it? Yeah.
So then you ask Scotty, what have you been doing in your spare time? Oh, I've just had another baby. What?
Okay, well, that's something. He's been busy. There's things going on there. So
like most of us, another Scotty, man. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So, you know, so we did that. We built a model and a scalable prototype, and then a full scale prototype, and we were testing quite a bit of the full scale coming out of last summer all the way up to Christmas. And then at the tail end of Christmas, I think it was more at the beginning of December, end of November, we had a crash. And if you ever get a chance to interview or podcast Keith, who's the lead engineer behind making the offline, he'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, and before you go any further, let me give a shout out to Keith. The amount of work, because I was part of the R Flight thing with you guys. Actually went up to be the personal valet and chauffeur of rLoop, you know, in the Zombieland van. And Keith is just such a wonderful person, and the amount of work, hard work that they put into the R Flight vehicle, along with the assistance of, I believe that was his brother and sister.
It was his sister and brother-in-law.
Sister and brother-in-law, just and his son, I believe. Yeah, just the sweetest people you ever met. So, yeah, those are people that are just
loveliest people ever.
They were just so lovely, just so nice, you know, and work diligently. I mean, when everybody was gone from the flight line, you know, there was the light on over at the our flight tent, and they were still in there, you know, knowing the challenges of just having a wreck, you know, and knowing that you're not going to be able to fly, but that didn't stop them, you know, and they drove all the way from Idaho just to be out there, you know, for that event. So now I understand nobody really won.
Yeah, that's right. So going on from that, so we had the crash in November, and the competition was in February. And the competition award was $1 million. But yeah, nobody won. Nobody had a vehicle that would meet the test requirements of the competition, besides one team, right? So you think what happened to us, we built a full scale and we had a crash in November, competitions in February. There's no chance we could have recovered.
Right.
I'll mention the team, Texas A&M. So there was this one team who built a full scale. Did all the hours of flight testing. It took him 300 hours, maneuvers, 20-minute flight, did everything. Hands down, they would have won the competition and the award.
Right.
A week before the event, they're testing the full scale and they have a crash.
Oh no. It just took them right on out.
Took them right on out. So next year is going to be extremely interesting, because you'll have our vehicle, which with, you know, fingers crossed, no crashes, we're there, which in terms of altitude and flight time surpasses anybody else out there. But you'll have other vehicles that will have gone through the maturity of testing and so forth. So next year it's going to be.
Next year is going to be exciting. Now, the one team that did actually win something, they won it for decibel levels. That's what their award was for. It was for the lowest sound, and that was the only check given out. And when you said it was $1 million first place prize, that was one. That was the overall prize, the $1 million. But they had another $1 million set aside for these different categories, and only one check was written that whole week.
Yeah, I think that was for about $100,000 or $150,000.
$150,000 for lowest decimal rating.
Yeah, that's right. That was the again, a super good-looking vehicle, something out of a Troy movie or something.
Right.
Tron movie. It was a Japanese team, and they had a pretty nice vehicle. I think that was more of the event, or the event organizers at least giving one award out for the sake of giving an award.
Right, exactly.
Because we saw that vehicle, and it was a series of quad, you could say propellers, or quadcopter style. We saw that vehicle testing and maneuvering and trying to take flight. And as soon as it take off, it had a huge stability issue.
Right.
So I would like to see how that vehicle would do going forward. I don't personally, I'm not convinced it will. I personally gave it much merit after seeing what it did. Yeah,
you don't think it'll achieve, because here, real quick, you have to do vertical takeoff. you have to do a vertical landing, you have to be at a certain decimal level, and you have to exhibit flight for 20 minutes. That's a long time to be in the air.
Yeah, whilst doing maneuvers. That's a long time to be in the air, electric powered, and you've got to do maneuvers while showing the air for 20 minutes. Yeah.
Right.
So next year is going to be extremely interesting.
Doesn't that kind of remind you of the Hyperloop competition? The first year, nobody could achieve anything. But then by the third competition...
I think I think for the Hyperloop competition, because it was very student-focused, the competition organizers, in this case SpaceX, realized that they needed to be very amendable with the rules to what the student teams produced, because they're still doing their final year and in these universities and so forth. And I think we saw a reflection of that in the competition, where a lot of the vehicles any aspect of the technology demonstrated on any aspect of the subsystems are actually scalable for full scale. A lot of the vehicles were just little dummies or missile type
toys. Very
yeah.
high-end toys.
High-end RC vehicles.
Yeah, RC vehicles, yeah. Very high-end.
So yeah, there was that. With this competition, I think that the rules were a lot more stringent. You know, it was held by NASA, overseen by
Ames and Boeing.
Absolutely. So you know, it's
heavy hitters.
Yeah, serious nuts engineering they wanted to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So I think next year's going to be awesome.
So what other projects are out there for rLoop?
So Hyperloop would be our most mature one in terms of transportation and technology development for that. R-Flight is still in the prototyping stage and testing stage. So that was our second project and the second most mature. And then rLoop has grown to almost what it is now, which is an innovation platform. So imagine going to, I don't know, Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and you've got all these Oompa Loompas there who'll design and build you whatever you want. Just tell them your idea. Right. And that's what our bridges bring in any concept to reality.
Now with the concept of our bridge, any member that was to join rLoop could participate in our bridge meetings for different projects that may be on the horizon, to see if it's something that they want to be on a team. Is that what it is, pretty much?
It's either different projects that they might want to work on and be part of that team and be enumerated for, or it could be developing one of your own ideas. And what we're trying to do with our bridge is, if you have any idea, could we develop an MVP within 2 to 4 weeks of your first idea, or first bring in the idea? And could we bring it to market and do initial market testing with it, instead of traditionally you have an idea, it's a startup, it goes through months of recruitment and development, and it takes a year or two before you see any product. Our bridge's concept to reality, and how quickly can we bring an MVP for any product or idea that you have that can quickly go into the market and start testing.
Now, once we find a project in our bridge that is something that everyone believes is worth pursuing, how do we recruit the people necessary to put together the teams?
I guess recruitment could be twofold, right? You can, if the project's matured, which some of the projects are maturing, then they could spin off as independent projects that are self-funded because you've got investment or investors. And then recruitment could be potentially twofold. Either you can apply to work full-time on that project, in which case it's no different to applying for any other job, or you can work on subsystems or tasks or micro tasks in the project and be enumerated that way. So if you think of the concept of employment, you usually employ somebody full-time and they'll work for you 40 hours a week and so many hours a month. But in the end, they're doing processes and tasks. Well, if you break them processes and tasks down and open that job up to the market, then you're really working in engineering at scale.
Okay.
So that's the other way of doing it.
Now, once a project moves forward and these sub teams put together new and innovative parts and equipment, and that'll be used on that project, do you monitorize that at some point?
Yeah, the idea is to build the future of work, where the future of work is you are able to work on any project or any task that your skill or your passion or your interest allows. And for each task or micro task you complete, just like going to work, you are remunerated for. And now, you know, it's quite brilliant, because depending on your skill level, remuneration up to you, and it opens it up to you as an individual.
Hey, you kind
so
of
you could be an engineer.
Ilyas, you kind of froze there for a second. Just say that part just over again.
Which bit? Sorry, which bit? What were we on?
Well, you were just mentioning that you know, you could be a brilliant person, and you can be on multiple projects. And
okay, so imagine you're an engineer and you're doing CAD drawings for an engineering design work. So you're doing CAD drawings, and you have the skill to do, I don't know, knock out 8 drawings a day. And your colleagues might be doing, you know, some really good ones might be doing 15 drawings a day. Some less advanced ones that might be doing 4 or 6 drawings a day. But you're all getting paid the same, because it's an engineer designer's salary. You're a CAD drawer, you know, it's a 40 grand a year job or 60 grand a year job.
Regardless of how many different CADs you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now, for that organization, there's, for the systems and subsystems, the specifications, the drawings that need to be done, there's a set number of drawings. And they grow that team up based on the allocation for that specific department and the output that the department produces. But here you can do engineering at scale, because you can have multiple drawers drawing for you from around the world to a certain standard, so that all the drawing work, or in this case, in this example, is done at scale in a very fast and efficient way. But based on your skill set, you can be remunerated per drawing. So if you're a qualified skilled engineer and have experience, now you can earn more. Right. You're not fixed to in that earning bracket. The other brilliant thing about working in this model is, now you could be a software developer or in this case, an engineering designer, right? You could be from California or from, I don't know, Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, and still be paid the same.
Exactly.
So what you ultimately have done is created universal basic income. Everybody earns a
universal basic income. So those folks that are actually brilliant engineers that happen to be in Uganda can make the exact same thing that somebody in Silicon Valley is making on the same project. But we both know that in Silicon Valley, what you'll make is going to be greatly appreciated. You're going to make money doing, because I can still have a job and still do this. So this could be, you know, some extra income coming in, you know what I mean? Right. Yeah. And so that money will help me pay my rent, my mortgage, or whatever. But the guy in Uganda, he can buy the village. he can buy the whole.
He can support
the village. Yes, he can. And send the young kids to school, so it can be an ongoing thing, you know, and tell them all to get on rLoop. So is anybody eligible to be in rLoop?
Is anybody's eligible to be in rLoop? All we try and assist to do is to provide you the tools and the resources to carry out your passion. So whether that's engineering or development or creativity, we will support you to bring that.
In whatever that is,
Yeah,
to find your passion and to go forward with what it is that you love to do. Because people that work with passion are people that love to work.
It's never worked then, right? It's a day of fun.
Well, you know, in theory, it always made sense. You know, I was a career counselor in the Navy, and I would tell people all the time, I said, you got two different things. You have a vocation and you have an advocation. And the vocation is what you do to make money to pay the bills. Advocation is what you do for fun. That's your hobbies. If you can ever marry those two up together, where you're getting paid to do what you enjoy in life, then you truly have a career. And that is the definition of a career. That's
what rLoop is trying to achieve.
Then we need to get the word out there, and we need to get as many people out there that have a passion, that have a voice, that have a vision, to get them plugged into rLoop. So all they have to do is really what? Just go to rloop.org and
that's it. Just go to rloop.org and join the team.
And join the team. Introduce yourself, and I'm here to attest to everybody out there that once you reach out to any loopers that are out there, any rLoopers, you're going to find the greatest community of some of the greatest, nicest people you ever met in your life. You know, it doesn't have the model of a regular company, because a regular company, you know, sometimes you got to step on other people's back to get up. It's not that at all. It's just people believing in their passion and trying to make the world a better place. And
game theory for kindness.
Say that again.
It's a game theory for kindness.
Oh, damn, that's beautiful. So let's try to get as many folks out there, and we got a lot more projects coming up. So I'd like to see everybody getting involved and get as many people involved as possible.
Just rooting back a little bit, you were a career counselor in the Navy for how long?
Well, I was a career sailor. Altogether, I have 30 years of service. I started off as an aircraft mechanic, hydraulics, thinking that I could actually be a lowrider, which my claim to fame, folks, and it's out there. I'm going to let it be known right now. I'm the first person to ever put hydraulics on a car outside the continental United States. On the island of Guam, 1978, I had a 71 Monte Carlo that had hydraulics front, back, side to side. And everybody thought I was crazy as all hell. So I would go down the street, man, and take my car and just drop it, man. And the Japanese tourists would fucking dive to the ground and cover their heads. They thought something was going to explode. So, but yeah, the majority of my career was spent as a career counselor. About halfway in my career, I changed over, and then I found my career. I found what I really enjoyed doing and loved.
Do you have the Navy logo?
I sure do. On a very, I don't know. We got a wide angle lens here. Let's see. We're using a new camera. Let's see. Oh my God. Let's see. Can we get that bad boy in there?
Oh, there it is. There
it is. Is that big boy? And that is the sign for Navy counselor. So, there you go. Wow. Hey, look. Tell us one fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
I've been a tough mother.
You had a tough mother.
That too.
Okay. Hi, Mom.
No, this is an event, high endurance event called Tough Mudder.
And what is a Tough Mudder? Tell us what the event is.
It's like a 17, 18-mile obstacle course, 27 obstacles, 30 obstacles. One of them's like an ice bath you've got to go through. And it's running through mud and through jungles and obstacles, and it's all team event. Type in Tough Mudder.
Tough Mudder.
Cool. Yeah, so I've done that. I'm an avid snowboarder. I try and get out up in the mountains in Europe, usually every Christmas. My birthday's a week before Christmas, so I try and get out every year up to the new year.
And the powder's real good up there then. And
oh yeah.
Oh my, yeah, that's nice.
Because it's the new year, you have the whole mountains itself. It's pretty amazing.
Now, because you're a tough mother, do you go up to the mountains and then hike up 10 miles up in the air, up just to come down on a snowboard?
No, I'm even bad. I'm even worse. So at the end of the night, you get told your last run. So they'll shout out last runs, and they'll close the ski lifts. And then after the last runs are done, the guys that are running the ski lifts at the top, they do a last check and they slide. They go down the mountain and they check, make sure nobody's around. So what I do and my friends do is, on the last run, we'll hide somewhere at the top of the mountain. We'll hide there, we'll chill, we'll have a smoke, we'll have a small snack until everyone's gone and these organizers, supervisors, staff of everyone have gone. And then as the sun's coming down, we'll come down ourselves on the mountain.
So you'll stay up there until everybody's gone late at night, and then you'll wait on sunset?
Yeah.
And then come down just hauling ass down the mountain by yourself, nobody else there, but the officials down at the bottom with the glasses are looking like, who in the hell is that up there on the mountain? You know, so
no, it's usually even the officials have gone, and it's like somebody will say, where do you guys come from? If something had happened, nobody would know.
Nobody would even know.
So there's that. I have a wolf, Lycan.
You have a wolf?
I have a wolf. She's 1 year and a couple of weeks old.
Now explain to everybody what a Lycan is.
She's a Lycan from the movies. So she's a Sawloose. She's a cross between a shepherd and a European wolf.
Right.
She's more shepherd. She's a blue shepherd, quite unique.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I picked her up about 12 months today.
Yeah, and although I'm playing host, of course, you know, I know that you have a Lycan, because there's nothing I would love to have more than a Lycan. I'm a dog guy. You know, come on, I'm in zombie land, man. I can't get a vampire dog because vampire dogs keep you up at night. You know, you can't get a zombie dog because zombie dogs, man, are just boring as hell. You know, they bump into stuff and all they want to do is eat your brain. There's nothing better than a werewolf dog, you know. And for those that are out there, type it. Lycan actually means werewolf. It comes from the root lycanthrope. Is a lycanthrope is a actual werewolf. A lycanthropy is the idea that you've been bit by a werewolf and you will change into a werewolf at a full moon. It's lycanthropy. So Lycan is the dog that they use in the horror movies when they want to show a really, really mean looking dog. And because you have a Lycan and I happen to know you have a Lycan, I got something special for you that I put together. So just kick back for a second, take a look at this and tell me what you think, huh?
Okay.
Menu in his hand, walking through the streets of Soho in the rain. He was looking for the place called Leho Fooks, gonna get a big dish of beef chow mein. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo, ahoo, werewolves of London. Howling around your kitchen door. You better not let him in. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. Werewolves of London again. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo. kind of gent who ran amok in Kent. Lately he's been overheard in Mayfair. You better stay away from him. He'll rip your lungs out, Jim. I'd like to meet his tailor. Ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo, ahoo, werewolves of London. Ahoo. Well, I saw Lon Chaney walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw Lon Chaney Jr. walking with the Queen, doing the werewolves of London. I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's, and his hair was perfect. Werewolves of London. Draw blood. Werewolves of London.
What do you think? What do you think, baby boy?
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Did you like that, man? Thanks for supplying the picture, man. She has turned into a beast. A beast, man. Look how big that dog is. That dog is only a year old. Holy crap.
It's amazing to me. She's still a baby. She's just tiny.
Only a year, man. A dog does not stop growing until they're at the 2-year mark. She's got another maybe 50, 60 pounds to go.
Yeah, she's a big girl.
Then she's going to look really scary. Oh, my God. Hey, so we need to get another.
I wanted to get
another
bigger.
one. You wanted to get what?
I wanted to get bigger.
She's going to get bigger. She's going to get bigger. And then we're going to get a male, and we're going to have them do the nasty. And then you should really consider opening up a kennel called Werewolves of London. Yeah, and crank them out and send them out there. So, yeah.
Speaking about cranky, so you know I've got a Persian cat.
Yes, you do. Loki.
So Loki, about 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, somewhere around there. She's a house cat. She's never left the house because I've got a large yard. She roams around the garden and stuff. But there's a 14-foot wall that goes all the way around the site. So she can't get out. And about 6 weeks ago, she was on heat, and she figured out somehow that she could jump out of the bathroom window, climb onto the roof of the building, and leave the premises. So she did that and disappeared for 2 days, came back after 2 days with hair everywhere, like she's been on a weekend bender. And then last week or so, I thought, man, she's looking a bit funny. She's getting fat. And then it dawned to me, oh no, she might be pregnant. So I took her to, COVID, most vets and stuff are closed. So I found this place that does just the scans. So I took her over last week, and there's 5 kittens due next week.
Oh my, next week, no doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor guy. It sounds like werewolf food to me, man. I hate to say. Hey, look, man, we're getting to the end of it, man. They're going to cut us off any second now. So I want you to give peace, say goodbye to all of the loopers out there, and thank you so much, man, for coming on board, man. I do appreciate it all, man.
No, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. It feels like we've talked a lot about nothing.
Yeah, we should do it again then, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the answer. There's so much to talk about. Let's encourage as many loopers to get on board, though, man, and get this going so we can go ahead and start publishing out in other platforms, So yeah, just keep it rolling, man. Thank you, man. Love you, brother. I'll be talking to you, huh?
I take it. We didn't speak about Arrivo. We didn't speak about so much stuff.
Oh man, well, you know what? I'm only cutting off because they tell me you only get 40 minutes on this when you're on the free version.
We need to change that.
Yeah, well, I got champagne taste and beer money, man, and I'm all out of beer, but So what can I do? You know, that's a reason for us to talk again, man. Revo and Southern Cal and the things that the opportunities that are out here. We really need to get on that. So, all right, love you. Talk to you later. Say goodbye to the community. And I'm gonna say I'm Uncle G. I want to thank all of you for popping in and watching us today, and encourage all of you to come on board and let's do a podcast with me, Uncle G, at Zombieland. See you, man. Take care. Toodle pips.